Okay, we're outside on a nice gray day, kind of rainy. We are on the east side of the structure, and this is a cement fiberboard siding. Alright, these are form boards, expansion joints, if you will, and they're wooden, and that's conducive to wood destroying insects by design. The exterior water faucets, none of these faucets appear to have vacuum breakers, which is unusual for the age of this house. Now, see these butt joints here? See how they just run down? And that's the way water runs. They're supposed to be staggered. See, they just run down. That's not too good of a stagger. But at least they're staggered. They're supposed to be staggered. When you have runners like this, water can get in there. Sure can. And then come over here. I'm looking behind this one. If you see up in there, what you don't see is flashing tape. Flashing tape is supposed to be installed behind these. Now, depending on the year, okay, hardy plank, some years, they used to say that you couldn't paint these and butt them. That's what they used to say. And then now I understand. I haven't looked it up, so it's hearsay to me, but now you can seal them like this, even though you're not supposed to stack them like this. But you can seal them as long as they've been primed. And I'm not seeing any primer in there, so the butt joints have not been primed. They're not properly spaced, and flashing tape is not installed behind them. Coming on along here, this is the water heater, temperature pressure relief valve drain line, and safety pan, and they're not supposed to be farther from the ground than 6 inches. Not closer than 3, not farther than 6. So we've got an issue there. Coming on along. We're at the front porch now. It's a little drier. This is GFCI protected and it does work. This doorbell does not work and it's broken and not illuminated. A ring device has been installed. Both of these are beyond the scope of an inspection. I do like to comment on the doorbells, but if this is important to you, then perhaps you want to make sure that it conveys with the property. That might not be an appliance that conveys. I don't know. Double pane vinyl frame windows. All the screens have been removed. It shows better that way. This siding along the front porch, that's where we're at now. House faces south. House faces north. Excuse me. But there's supposed to be a 2-inch gap here. You're supposed to have a weep screed along the front yard. A weep screed along the patio surfaces, walkways, flat work. Again, we do not have rain gutters. Water's falling down. I'm going to make additional comment about that. Additional comment will be made in the electrical section because it was convenient. We have high soil along the west side. These are the condensing units that are 14 years old, which is kind of old. These are the condensing units that are R22, which is obsolete. These are the disconnects. Again, another video has been made that not yet in sequence, but it has been made, and we're going to come back to that. So this is the main electric service panel to the house. This is actually considered a sub panel. I did not realize that when I made the first video, and so everything in the first video pertains to this video except or including an addendum. See this little bar back here? It bonds the neutrals and the grounds, and the neutrals and grounds should be separated in a sub panel. They should be separated, and they're not, so they're improperly commingled. What happens is that stray errant current could run through the system and shock you in places you wouldn't expect to be shocked. I mean, in locations, maybe not places on the body, but in locations where you would not expect to be shocked because of errant current. Statistically, I'm not sure what the odds are on that, but we're not odds makers. And here's another thing, is see there's a neutral right in here? I'll see something twice, see something else. That's the rule of home inspection right there. That's a double lug neutral. a double lug neutral. So this it's improperly, the neutrals and grounds are improperly bonded, and we have double lug neutrals. And then everything else that I said, including these white hots are not wrapped with black tape, the bonding location is not labeled, it was secured with screws instead of nails, it's not properly labeled. All the things that I'd mentioned before pertain. So it's kind of like 2 breaker box, load center, electric service panel, videos, information coming along rather uneventful, which is good. That's what we want. Uneventful is boring is good. This GFCI works. In fact, all the GFCIs on this main structure work. In fact, I haven't checked the other one. Power gates are beyond the scope of this inspection. So that being said, the only warning we have is this little warning right here, but we don't actually have an illustration of somebody getting crushed. And you're supposed to have those types of illustrations. And this is the electric power supply conduit, and of course, it's not of course, but look, it's short and it's been taped up. That's a improper repair modification. That's it. That's the main structure.